Like an angel in the morning, shooting star across the night. The most beautiful girl I've seen in all my life. Every second spent with you, it's like a day that starts brand new. Girl, I'm so amazed at all the things you do. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and for always. Girl, you are my sunshine, baby, don't you go away. I want me, all over me, already alive. I will love you forever. I want me, all over me, already alive. I will love you forever. I hear music in your words and in the way you call my name. When you come aside, I can't do anything. You're my best friend, you're my lover. Without you, no one else would do. Through thick and thin, I know we'll make it true. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and for always. Girl, you are my sunshine, baby. I want me, all over me, already alive. See, I will love you forever. I want me, all over me, already alive. I will love you forever. My baby, you are my sunshine, my love and my essence. There's no one like you. My baby, you are my sunshine, my love and my essence. There's no one like you. You are me, all over me, already alive. See, I will love you forever. Oh, you are me, all over me, already alive. See, I will love you forever. My sugar, my honey, my lover, I will love you forever. My baby, my lover, and my best friend, I will love you forever. I place no woman above you. I will love you forever. I promise to always love you, baby. I will love you forever. And there's no one other comes close. I will love you forevermore. Ever and ever and evermore. I will love you forever. Cause you are my baby, my sunshine. I will love you forever. And when there's nothing more to say, I will love you forever. Like an angel in the morning, shooting star across the night. The most beautiful girl I've seen in all my life. Every second spent with you, it's like a day that starts brand new. Girl, I'm so amazed at all the things you do. Yes, I wanna build my whole world around you. So I promise you forever and for always. Girl, you are my sunshine, baby, don't you go away. I want me, all over me, already alive. I will love you forever. I want me, all over me, already alive. I will love you forever. I hear music in your words and in the way you call my name. I will love you forever. My baby, my lover, and my best friend. I will love you forever. I place no woman above you. I will love you forever. I promise to always love you, baby. I will love you forever. And there's no one other comes close. I will love you forevermore. Ever and ever and evermore. I will love you forever. Cause you are my baby, my sunshine. I will love you forever. And when there's nothing more to say, I will love you forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever. I will love you forever.
All right, so we're starting right away today. And we are in the part 5, episode 27, or part 5 of predisposition. And remember, predisposition basically focuses on the differences between men and women. Youth of the generation are faced with the great challenge of choosing a life partner, and many have followed practices and not principles. And these are led to a situation where you have a high rate of divorce and even paternity fraud in many marriages. So the goal of this program, therefore, is to help everyone that will be part of this to get it right in these critical areas of their lives. You will hear some uncommon ideas about marriage in this series, but please note that these are based on research, and it will help you to align with the current reality of our times, particularly for those that already imbibe a very old way of thinking, and that's affecting the way they live right now. Listen to it with open mind and go back to check some of the thoughts that have been shared, whether those things are so. So today we are looking at the summary of the differences between men and women. Men take decisions by thinking through on things, while women take decisions based on their feeling. Based on their feeling. Men are logical in their thinking. We've talked about this before. Men are logical in their thinking, but women are emotional in their thinking. Men want the women to make the point while discussing issues, but women want the man to experience her feeling. So women think the men therefore are wicked and even heartless and even callous. They think men are even callous. Why would they jump into this conclusion? They jump into this conclusion because they express true feeling, but the man is logical. So women think they are wicked and heartless. They don't have feeling. Some even say that men do not love them, and this is a major challenge for the newly married because of the interpretation of what exactly it means to love, which differ from men and women. Which differ from men and women. Which differ between men and women. Expecting men to feel how you feel as a lady, expecting men to feel how you feel as a lady is to have an ulcer pain and expect your husband that have headache to feel the pain that you feel, to feel the pain that you are experiencing. These are two different experiences. One is an ulcer pain, but the other is a headache. But you know what? Understanding the way men differ from women will help women in the home. Because if as a woman, you discuss issues through your emotion and want the man to experience your feeling, and the man is not experiencing it, you will think he's wicked, he's heartless, he's callous, because he's not feeling what you are feeling. Men does not have feeling. Men does not have feeling like the women. Majority of men feeling revolve around hunger, around sex, and their ego. Why for women? It extends far beyond that. They respond to life relationship, and men advances why men initiate life. A woman is naturally closed, and inside is naturally closed, and inside. And this is in line with the way the sexual organ of a woman is made. Why for the man? It's protruding. It's an indication of an initiator, and of course, a seed sower. So women sometimes dress provocatively to seek attention, to seek acknowledgement, and even appreciation of her beauty. That should have come to them from their father or men and brothers in their life that should have helped them fill that space. Now, when a woman dresses for attention, when it dresses for acknowledgement, when it dresses for appreciation, when it dresses for people to appreciate her beauty, that's not what the man is saying. The man is seeing her dress in a way to attract his attention. So when men see her dress like that, they begin to think that she's looking for sex. Most men don't know that not all women that dress provocatively are looking for sex. In fact, there was a story, a very pathetic story, of a Nigerian who got admission to a school in the US with a full scholarship, had opportunity to work for some hours in a week. But where he was working, there's another lady working in the same place. The lady is provocatively dressed. But you know, if you are not familiar with life abroad sincerely, you will not understand when you see the way people dress. You think they are looking for attention? But this is, to them, a normal way of life. If you are coming from Africa and not seeing this normal way of life, you might be quick to interpret and think she's dressed that way because she's looking for sex. So you know this lady dressed as usual one day because the man was thinking, for this lady to be dressing like this, it's trying to attract my attention. Guess what? One day, this man, or this student, decided to touch this lady. And the lady screamed. And the guy was wondering, well, you've been exposing yourself to me. I thought you wanted me. That's why you dress like this. The lady screamed. It became a major issue. The guy denied. Denied completely. The guy denied completely. Unknowingly to the guy that there is camera everywhere. Unknowingly to the guy that there is camera everywhere. There's camera everywhere. You know? Sometimes when the devil wants to deal with you, this girl, the father is a lawyer, the mother is a judge. The father is a lawyer, the mother is a judge. And they insist this guy must go to jail. This guy must go to jail. After much pleading, they said, this guy, we have to lose his admission and his scholarship and go back to Nigeria as a punishment for sexual harassment. Where I'm going is this. This guy thought because the lady is dressed this way, she's communicating to him that she wants sex. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. That's not all ladies. A number of them have low self-esteem. They need compliment. Unfortunately, they are looking for it the wrong way. And they dress the way they dress so that men, guys, can make the kind of comment that they want to hear. Can make the kind of comment that they want to hear. But this lets you know that the way we think as men and women are two different. Very different. Women naturally love their children, but men need to find a reason to permit himself to love his children. That is why some men have children with different women and don't bother about their welfare. For the woman, it's a natural love. She carried this girl, she carried this boy for 9 months and went through labor pain. It's natural to love. For the man, it's not natural. And this natural love of the mother for the child is why they are unable to discipline the child in a manner that can help the child to be able to turn out right. For those of you that saw the video I posted during the week of a statistics in the US that is showing that most marriages that lead to divorce, the divorce was initiated by the lady, number one. Number two, 90%, or is it 80 or 90% of of children that are in crime are from, 90% of criminals who are from broken homes with a single parent is usually from the one raised by women. Because when God said husband and man and woman should be together to take care of the child, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Now that divorce has become normal, it's creating dysfunctional society, and inevitably we create dysfunctional homes. Dysfunctional home. Dysfunctional home. Dysfunctional home. Dysfunctional home. Dysfunctional home. A dysfunctional home will create a dysfunctional society. A dysfunctional home will create a dysfunctional society. That is why some men have many children and does not even care about their welfare. From what we have learned so far, you will agree with me that for marriage to work, you must do the work. For marriage to work, you must do the work. If you are unable or not ready to do the work, the marriage will not work. Remember that marriage is not a compulsory event of life on earth. We are not all here to marry. We are here to fulfill a purpose, the calling of God upon our lives. So even if you didn't partake in this kind of association on earth, but be rest assured, at least you fulfill your purpose and calling. Some ladies are better. Some ladies have peace until they got married. Some men had better life until they got married. Many people marrying today are not ready for the complexity of their relationship. Some ladies are better to remain unmarried and adopt orphans from motherless babies home if they really need a child. However, if you choose to marry, like many people, then you need to acquire the knowledge needed to be able to understand your partner. To understand your partner in order to live a peaceful life and build a peaceful home. In order to live a peaceful life and build a peaceful home, men base their decision on fact, on their experience. But women don't care about fact, but on what they are currently going through or going through experiences. Women also base their decision on their intuition, which cannot be explained. Most often than not, it is the right decision, but they can't explain it. Men's spirit, soul, and body, mind, are naturally separated. You see this picture? Now I keep referring to this picture. I keep going back to this picture. The spirit, soul, and mind are naturally separated for the men. But for the woman, they are intertwined. They are interwoven. They are convoluted. Whatever affects one, affects all. The fact that men can separate their feelings from their mind and spirit explain the reason why there are more men of God than women of God. There are more men of God than women of God, because you need a lot of logic to be able to lead people. Men find it easy to differentiate what God is saying to them than the women. For the woman, it's difficult to separate it. A woman needs to work on herself to be able to separate the mind from the soul, from the body, and the feeling. Since in our world, you need to present a logical reason for your action, which is not natural to the woman. That is why it is called the men's world. They are able to present that logical reason that many are looking for. That logical reason that many are looking for. The fact that women get information received to mix up with their feeling makes women to sometimes act based on expectation, and this causes a difficult problem for women. A good example is this. It's seen in a male and a female who are friends and classmates. The guy take care of the lady, help her with her assignment, buy her lunch, show her care and concern. The lady is already thinking, the guy is interested in marrying me. The guy is interested in marrying me. The guy is interested in marrying me. He's already interpreting it. But this guy just came from a good home where he's been taught to respect ladies. And this is exactly what he would do for his sister. This is the way he's brought up. He's just a naturally good guy. But the lady is thinking, he loves me. He wants to marry me. Unknowingly to her that this guy is not even thinking about marriage. Or probably already have someone else. But because of the way she's caring and loving, the lady already interpreted it as the fact that the guy is interested in her. This has created a lot of problem. A lot of problem. That's why it's good for the lady to ask, is this just friend or is going somewhere? So that the guy will not block other people coming in. Men express love to women by saying, for example, I love you, I want to marry you. But the women say, let me think about it. This is aimed at testing to see if what the guy is saying is really serious. So your word saying I love you is not enough. You need to substantiate it by letting her know how special she is, how unique she is, and why she deserves the treat, and the description you are giving her is for only her. Now, sometimes guys call this playing hard to get because they don't understand that the lady wants you to prove your love. But some guys just get easily tired. I beg. But for guys that are players, they like that kind of games. You need to convince her that she's secure with you. You need to convince her of your security. You need to convince her of your trust, protection, and companionship. This also explains the reason why many ladies are either getting married late or not marrying at all or not marrying yet because there is no man coming who has been able to convince them beyond reasonable doubt that they really love them. The issue of security is important for ladies. She will be asking you after the marriage if you still love her, because she needs reassurance of your protection, reassurance of a unique place, reassurance that she's the only one, reassurance. You know, if your wife like gift, if your love language is gift, if you buy a car today and buy a flower tomorrow, it's the same thing. No? Even though one is more expensive than the other, but in the way she receives it, it's a gift. So whatever you are giving is the same score you are having. Don't think because you bought a car today, then there's no other way to communicate love again. This can cover you for 1 year. That's not true. That's not true. Particularly if our love language is gift. You must constantly use your words to constantly fuel the tank of your relationship. Let me repeat that. As a guy, you must constantly use your word to fuel the tank of your relationship. Let me repeat that. You must constantly use your word to fuel the tank of your relationship. Let me repeat that. You must constantly use your word to fuel the tank of your relationship. Do you know that many don't know that that tank keep drying up as you progress in that relationship? And that through your word, you can fill up that tank every day. Through your word, you can fill up that tank every day. So I say it this way: the temperature of your home is dependent on the thermostat of your mouth. If it's too hot, through your mouth, you can bring it down. If it's too cold, through your word, you can make it cool. If it's too hot, through your word, you can bring it down and make it cool. Through your word, if it's too cold, you can bring it up and make it cool and maintain that coolness and reduce minimal friction. There's one magic word I want to teach you. It's a magic word, a very magic word. As a man, if you are full of ego, you won't be able to use those magic words. You see those magic words? It's a 3-letter word. If you use it so well, you will resolve every conflict in your home. You know those 3-letter word? It's a magic word. It's so powerful and so easy and so cheap to use. But many either are ignorant of it, or they deliberately refuse to use it, and they are regretting their action for not using this gift in their mouth. You want to know these 3-letter words? These 3-letter words could have prevented some divorce, could have prevented some separation, could have prevented some emotional and verbal abuse. But many are not aware of it. They don't know it. Some, because of their ego, they refuse to use it. Because of their ego, they refuse to use it. And today, there's no more family. Because they refuse to use these 3-letter words. Do you want to know the 3-letter words? Do you want to know the 3-letter words? Do you want to know the 3-letter words? It's called. Someone say yes, sir. You want to know the 3-letter words? Do you want to know these magic words that could have prevented divorce, prevented separation, prevented many problems in homes? But because many are not aware of it. They don't know it. They don't want to use it because of their ego. This 3-letter word is called I am sorry. 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 That is a very, very powerful. That's a very, very powerful. That's a very, very powerful. That's a very, very powerful word. You know what I'm emphasizing it? I want it to sink deep down in you so that when you get married, for those of you that are not, you can use this magic word. You can use this magic word. You must constantly use your word to constantly fuel the tank of the relationship. This must not stop, else the car of your relationship will stop moving. When the kind words in your tank get exhausted. When the kind word in your tank get exhausted. When the kind word in your tank get exhausted. The hotness or coldness of your relationship, of your home, is dependent on the temperature of your wife, which is easily regulated with your mouth, with your words. It's easily regulated with your mouth, with your words. Whatever you give a woman, she receives it, she incubates it, she multiplies it, and give it back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and run over. Whatever we give a woman, she will receive it. She will incubate it. She will multiply it and give it back to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and run over. If you give her peace, she will multiply it and give it back to you. She will give you bliss. If you give her pain, she will multiply it and give it back to you. She will give you misery. You give her money for food, she will multiply it and give you a meal. You give her a smile, she will multiply it and give you a laughter. You give her seed in form of sperm, she will multiply it. Do you know what she will give you? A child. She will give you a child. She's designed to incubate and reproduce it for you. As a man, you should do a minimum of 3 things a day to show you still love her. Minimum of 3 things a day. You can do either of these, at least one of them, every day. A hug, an eye contact, a gift, a kiss, a compliment, an appreciation. Please know that if you are not ready for this daily routine, you are not ready for marriage. If you fail to do this after marriage, please know that you are abusing that lady in your house. She needs it for her balance. And it costs you nothing. So why you deny her of it? She needs it for her balance. And it costs you nothing. So why you deny her of it? She needs it for her balance. And it costs you nothing. Why you deny her of it? Remember? A hug, a kiss, an eye contact, a gift, a compliment, an appreciation. Do at least one, once a day. You want peace in your home? To fulfill your calling? You want joy in your home? To grow your career? You want peace in life, in work and ministry? You must design this difference or these differences between men and women. You must design these differences between men and women. If you fail to design it, to understand it, and to utilize it to your advantage, you might find it difficult to have peace in your home. You might find it difficult to have peace in your home. One of the differences between men and women is the way we present our desires. A man will come out straight to clearly state he needs what he needs without any ambiguity. A woman, on the other hand, does not make her request clear. Guys, please listen to this. You must be circumspect, very observant, to know when your wife needs your attention or needs something. You must be able to see. You know, some women are very considerate. And because they are very considerate, they won't put you under pressure. They won't ask you for so many things. That is not a license for irresponsibility. You notice the bag your wife is carrying is having issues. The shoes are not too good. The clothing are not too good. And you don't think you should help her, support her, and buy a gift for her. She shouldn't ask you. Some ladies will ask and they'll put you under pressure to do it. But some other women, they don't think they should put their man under unnecessary pressure. But that is not a license for irresponsibility. Because if she has the money, she will do it. So if she's unable to do it, you should be able to help. And this is very important. As a matter of fact, being able to spot the need of your wife without her mentioning it is a sign that you are noticing her and you are watching her and she loves it. When you don't seem to notice her problem or her bad situation, it makes the lady to be broken and rejected because it's a sign that you don't even love. You don't love her, even though this might not be the case. This is because she expects you to see her need. And you see the problem? For the man, he speaks. For the woman, she expects you to see her need. Because to her, this is obvious now. You should see it now and respond to them. She doesn't need to come and tell you. Sometimes, women are not feeling fine. The men sense it and ask her, what is the matter? And the wife says, I'm fine. And the man will then walk away. and the woman will become angry. Because the woman expects the man to probe further, to find out, to really know what is wrong with her. So when she says nothing, she's being sarcastic. But the man cannot understand the sarcastic response of the wife. Some will ask, why does men try to be very loving and caring? And finding out all are feeling. Why does men have to do this before the marriage can work? Because the man expects the woman to communicate her feeling. The reason is because the man is a hunter. When he has gotten what he wants, let me take that again. Sometimes women will ask, why is it that men that were very loving and caring before marriage seems not to do this again after marriage? They don't find out. The way they are probing before marriage is because the man is a hunter. When he has gotten what he wants, he relaxes. He doesn't see the need to trouble himself again. He doesn't see the need to unravel the woman, to open her up, to find out what is wrong. What is the whole essence? He has gotten what he wants. But women cannot understand. We say the guy has changed. He has not changed. Only that when he was hunting, the posture was different than when he has now gotten what he wants. A man is more solution-oriented. So when you complain you are sick, he tells you, go and see the doctor. But the woman is not expecting you to say, go and see the doctor. He wanted to show care, concern, empathy, hug, petting. Whereas women are able to understand what a man wants without asking, because of their gift of intuition. They expect a man to also understand and discern their need. Unfortunately, the man is just not seeing it. So they even think he's deliberately ignoring their feeling. It's also important for man to know that a woman expects the man to take the lead in crucial matter because he sees the man as the head of the home. A woman begin to try to be problematic, pushy, and forced to take decision of the position of leadership only when a man refuses to take the lead. A woman does not find it difficult. A woman does find it difficult to lead because of the fact that she does not find it easy to take decision due to the fact that she is always having crisis of choice. This is why a lady will look at the wardrobe full of clothing and we still say, I don't know what to wear. Taking the lead by a woman in the home is a sign telling the man that the man is not doing his job. It's a sign of telling the man that she expects him to take the lead. A woman needs a man in her life who will lead and give her a direction. And as a matter of fact, a man that cannot lead is useless to a woman. Not to think of getting married to her. As a leader in the home, you should be ready to provide everything without your wife's contribution. However, if the man is unable, the woman can assist. But please note, if your wife begins to contribute more than you, the challenge is this. you are going to be forcing her to call the shot, and you might not be happy with it. You want to call the shot in your home? Then make the provision. For the ladies, support as much as you can. But if you have a husband that is not taking the lead, I will blame the lady for it, because you are supposed to choose a man who can lead. If she's unable to lead you, then don't marry him. Don't marry him. In fact, women are at an advantage because you have to submit to someone that you respect, who you believe can lead you. You see this argument around submission. There's no problem there now. As a lady, you are not supposed to submit to everybody on the street. You have to submit to your own husband. And you have the right to choose the husband that you are willing to submit to, because he has what it takes to lead you. If he doesn't have what it takes to lead you, then don't submit to him. Then don't agree to his proposal, so you don't make life difficult for yourself. In summary today, I would like to say, ladies and gentlemen, because of peace at home is what leads to peace at work. Peace at home creates peace in life and ministry, creates peace in work, at work, and in your career. If you are going to be able to grow your career and fulfill your calling in life, a good understanding of these differences between men and women is the way to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is inevitable. Please, just know, whenever there is a problem in a home, and there is fight, and there is rancor, and there's animosity, even leading to separation, the culprit is lack of understanding of the predisposition of the man and knowing how it differs from that of the woman. All right, thank you very much for joining tonight. Let me hear from you. What have you learned tonight? Good evening, everyone. Ajib Blessing. Good evening, how are you? Can you hear me? Ajib Blessing. What have you learned tonight? Hello, Blessing.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, sir, I joined a bit late, but I actually learned a lot. So I understood some things about men and women, like the differences in different situations of life. So like I got a deeper meaning
Okay.
about it. Yes, sir.
All right. Eunice Julius.
Thanks, sir.
Unique Julius. Okay, Eunice is not. Favor Atasie. Good evening. How are you?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
I've really learned a lot today. Okay, so for me, actually, what I learned is number one, because I learned a lot. Number one, like marriage, you have to like be intentional about your marriage.
Yes.
Like if you really have to make it work, like we should not just assume that, oh, we just married, God will help us, it will be going smoothly. Like you really have to be deliberate, be intentional about making things work out. And number two, what I really learned and what really stood out for me is don't even accept the proposal of someone you don't respect or someone you don't think you can submit to.
Yes.
Like that really stood out for me. Like you should even get married to somebody that you look up to, you really admire,
Yes.
you really can respect, because like then it will be easier to submit because you respect the person and you care for the person. And the fact that you said sometimes women they always want you to propose, that is very correct. Very, very correct. Because personally, we believe that if you actually want to propose, that it means you are very insistent, like you really care about us, you get, and you really want to know. But if you just say, like sometimes when a woman tells you she's fine, she wants you to be able to ask her. That's what you really said very true there. And those two qualities for me. You have to deliberately make things work. You have to be intentional and get married to somebody that you can really respect and trust, and to be easier to submit to. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank
But
you.
sir, I have a question.
Go
Sir, I
ahead.
have a question.
Go ahead.
There was a part you said that like the part of mind, body, and I
Yes.
think soul or spirit. You were saying that like men are generally logical, they just follow facts and kind of like normative kind of aspect. And then women, like their mind, their soul, and everything's kind of intertwined. But what about women that are like in like military women that have like seen the tough side of life,
Yes.
and
So
women that hold positions, very high
yes,
positions? What can we
that
say of such women?
statement is general. Some women have been able to train themselves to separate it. Just the way some men raised by women are also intertwined. Because they are raised by women. So generally, that is the way it is, but there are exceptions, either as a result of the environment, by virtue of training, by virtue of experience. So you are very correct. It's very possible. Okay, Denise said her mic is bad. All right, women have emotions that do not have word to communicate sometimes. The men who can be patient with them to decode. Okay, they need man who can be patient with them to decode this. Grant, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine. Yes, sir. Okay, so for me, I don't know. I'm just tired. It's stressful. I don't know.
No,
I don't think.
Wait, hold on.
That's a lot of job. As much as I was to be very caring, in short, I'm caring.
Hello, Grant. You know, that's why.
Usually, a man is really very logical. I feel.
I'm trying to hear you. Grant, I'm struggling to hear you. I'm struggling. Grant, I agree with you that it's a lot of work, and that's why we're having this conversation. Everybody should know the level of work that is required. So don't just be eager to say, I do. Know the level of work, the enormity of the work that is required. And then ask yourself, am I ready to contend with this? Ask yourself, am I ready to contend with this? And then, if you're ready to contend with it, then you go ahead. The challenge is this. Many people are not ready to contend with this. And they'll go and marry and make life difficult for the poor lady. And make life difficult. So I agree with you, Grant. It's a lot of work. I don't know if your mic is better now because I could not hear some of your comments. Okay, let me go to David. Carlo David. Oh, business. David. Can you hear me? Carlo David.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Oh, business. How are you doing?
Today with his partial. Now, whom I support today?
That woman I support today.
Now, whom I support today, man, no lie you.
Okay.
But anyways, so I actually learned a lot, honestly, and I think based on what you teach today, what we learned today, I guess so. I think we the guys or we the men, we have a lot of role to play. You know, we have a lot of role to play. Oh, sir, you know, I have a question actually.
Go ahead.
I have a question, and the question is this. You know, it made mention of this place or where you said it is very good, or you said you would blame the lady if she end up getting married to someone that cannot supply all her needs in that sense. So my question is that when a lady looks out for a guy or a man that can supply all her needs, do you think that or that will actually encourage that lady to work hard or kind of be independent before she gets married?
I didn't get that.
Okay, can you hear me, sir?
I heard you,
Yes, sir.
but I didn't get your question.
Okay, hold on 1 minute. Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm saying that at that part where you say that you actually blame the lady when she end up getting a man or get married to a man that cannot supply all her needs. Okay. So my question is that when that lady now looks out for a man that can supply all her needs, that can get all she wants, that can supply for the family and everything, all right? Now the question is that you think that that lady now in consign, do you think that she will end up working hard to say, okay, I want to work hard to contribute to the family, or even though she's not married, can she stand independently? Like, can she cater her needs without her husband or without having a boyfriend or something? I'm just asking.
Now,
do you think that will encourage her or those ladies?
Now, you know, if a lady say, because my husband is taking care of me, I will be idle, then that's also a very unwise lady. Because what she doesn't understand is, what if the guy lost his job? What if the business is not doing well? So it is very, if a lady thinking that way is a child. I need help. The child, I need help. Because you can't say, because this guy will take care of all my needs, so I will be idle. What if something happened to me? So I don't expect any lady to think that way. Even if the guy can provide your need, you see support. But you should not fold your arms, saying you will not do anything because your husband can provide. Because that means the person is not given to critical thinking. Anything can go wrong. The guy can lose his job. What if he loses his job? What will you do? And do you know this happened in our world today? Which is why even if the man say you should be full housewife, tell him you are not going to be full housewife. Agree on all that before you get married. I don't know if I answered David's question.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Thanks a lot, sir. So much appreciated.
Now, someone has a question. In a situation where a lady is not ready to work until he's ready to give, until he's ready to give her all the money she needs for her business. You know, the whole essence of courtship, the whole essence of discussing before you get married, it's because of all these issues. Number one, as a guy, don't marry a lady that doesn't have anything doing. It doesn't make sense. Not because you need that money. But let me tell you, when a lady is working, it will release burden on you. But more importantly, it will be less busybody. A lot of issues that will create argument will not even happen because she's busy with so many other things. So she won't be wasting time nagging most of the time. But if she's idle, you'll be in trouble. So for me, you shouldn't even get to this point where the lady says until you give her all her money, she won't do any business. If she's idle doing nothing before you get married, for me, I don't think a guy should marry a lady that is idle. Not because the guy needs his money, or no, not because the guy should depend on the money, but the guy should know she needs help. He needs help. If anything goes wrong, this lady will be able to support. Number one. Number two, this lady will not become busybody, nagging all the time because she's idle and have nothing to do. If she has gone to work since morning and she's coming back, she's tired, she will ignore minor things and focus on important things and go to sleep. That's the way I will answer that question. But there was a question before then that says, can someone encourage a friend to marry someone that is younger than her. Because if the brother is sure is lead her, because if the brother is sure he is lead to her, is he his leader to her? For the brother, can someone encourage him to look for someone of his age or to stay away from the matter? No, 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 no. You shouldn't reject a relationship because of age. No. If the guy, I have a friend, it's actually a brother in the fellowship when I was on campus. And the lady he married is about, I think, either 2 years or thereabout older than him. The lady is 40 already. This guy is just about to be 40. And the lady is 41 or thereabout already, or even 42. And they have a fantastic marriage. And the lady respects the husband because the husband is a very industrious guy, cerebral guy. The guy is a leader in the home, even though the wife is older. So it's possible. Another example is Coach Charis. Coach Charis is younger than the wife. The wife is about how many years older than him? I'm sure you know Coach Charis. He's a billionaire. But the wife is older than him. So being that the wife is older is not a problem at all. The only thing I recommend is that the gap between both should not be more than 6 years. Recommendation. And I've given the reason why. If it's within 4 to 6 years, that means you both went to school within the same period. So things that happen when you're on campus or when you're in school, both of you can relate to it. The slang, the kind of language, so that when you say something, it doesn't interpret it the other way because you guys are far apart in understanding because you live and went through school at different times. But generally, I don't think age should be a determining factor. Maturity is more important. This conversation, you see the conversation we're having? It's more important. If the guy understands this conversation, he will manage the home very well. He will manage the home very well. Someone said, from what she said, majority of, sorry, let me see. He said, okay, network, okay. He said, from what she said, majority of money used for their wedding was hers, and she later lost interest in the job. Okay, they were already married, and the lady contribute more. That's another problem. That's another problem. As a man, you shouldn't be married and the wife is contributing more. If both of you contribute the same, I don't have issue with that. If you are not able to meet up and the lady has to contribute more, that is not a good signal. Look, let me tell you, it takes a lot of maturity to manage that relationship. Because he that paid the piper dictate the tune. He that paid the piper dictate the tune. He that paid the piper dictate the tune. If your wife is giving more, you are going to lose your place of leadership. Not because the lady wants to do it. It takes a lot of maturity for the lady to be able to, because if I say, this is what I want us to do, and you say the other way around, and I'm the one bringing the money as the lady, it takes a lot of humility for the lady to still accept that you go the other way with her money. A lot of humility. So I won't recommend that you find yourself in a situation. That means, for me, don't think of getting married yet. Or do the marriage in the little way you can afford. I've told people, listen to me. To marry, you only need the husband, the wife, the witnesses, and the parent of both. Every other thing you do, what's the name? Reception, the white wedding, you saw those things? They are your preference. They are your preference. White wedding is not our culture. It's not bad though, but just know that in Africa, we marry 3 times. We marry according to the law, it's called court wedding. We marry according to our culture, it's called traditional wedding. We marry the Oyinbo one, and it's called church wedding. You see that church wedding? You can pray the same prayer during the traditional wedding. You can pray the same prayer during the court wedding. So we marry 3 times. And it involves a lot of cost, unnecessary cost. During COVID, I witnessed 2 weddings. One, they did it in the sitting room with 10 people in attendance. The man, they are still married today with their child. I witnessed another one, 40 people. They only go to court. And the court came there, they did their 40 people. And they are still married today. It doesn't make their marriage less. Just court wedding. And then pastor come there to pray for them. And they're married. What is it that we just disturb ourselves and make our life difficult because we want to copy a Igbo man? So you don't need to incur unnecessary cost for your wedding. If you can't afford church wedding, you don't need to do it. The most important one is the traditional wedding. Is the traditional wedding. If you want to marry according to the law of Nigeria, then you can include the court. You see that church? You do this reception? It's your preference. It's not bad though, and it's not sinful. But just know, it's your own preference. Nobody's forcing you to do it. You are the one that wants to do it. Someone said from what she said, okay. Someone said, my sister is a little older than her husband, and I think 2 years. That's okay. Someone said, I'm sure I have all the emotion, energy to be probing and asking my wife something again and again. Oh, is it I'm sure or I'm not sure? Grant, can you reconfirm? Do you mean I'm not sure? Because it sounds that they are saying I'm not sure. She should please understand that I am not a mind reader. Nonetheless, I get it that understand is paramount. If you cannot probe, don't get married. If you cannot probe, don't get married. You must learn to probe. That is why the sexual organ of a woman is inside. You have to unravel her. For the man, he's always ready. So you have to probe. But you know, some ladies are very understanding. A lady that gone through this kind of seminar now understands. So she also helped her husband so that they can have peace in the home. Someone is saying, sir, what about very rich and independent women that have a higher income than their husband? Does not marrying such a woman depict insecurity in the side of the man? Is that why men are scared of such women? Yes. Most of those women, they are not humble. So the man cannot take his place as a leader. So the man don't want to do it. 90% of divorces in which women initiate the divorce is because they now earn more than the man. When they become financially independent, they don't say they don't need a man again. So it's tougher. It takes a lot of maturity. I know a woman who earns more than the husband. When she collects her salary, she will transfer everything to the husband. And the husband dictates how they spend the money. Now that's a virtuous woman. That kind of woman is rare. 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 You transfer everything. The husband decides how to spend it. The husband is not asking for it. She just sees it as what she must do. By doing that, it makes her to be humble. She doesn't have money. She has to ask the husband. That's a wise woman. Not every woman can do it. That's why many men cannot handle it. Not because they are insecure. Most women will rub it on their faces. It takes a lot of maturity for the woman to be humble. A lot of maturity, I'm telling you. But it's possible. God, I know some, and they're having a very fantastic marriage because the husband is allowed to take his place in the home, and the wife is still submitting to the husband and allowing the husband to lead the family, even though she's richer. But it's rare. Very, very rare. Favor, go ahead. I can see your hand.
Okay, so I want to ask a question again.
Yes.
Okay, like for example, the part that I actually talked about being able to probe further and ask women about their emotions. Like on the other end of the spectrum, where we have men, and sometimes they are going through stuff. And I know men are kind of like egocentric kind of people, and they don't want to like
They want to be alone.
They want to be respected. They want to be respected.
No, they want
but
to be
then
alone.
How can we be able
when they are going through stuff, they want to be alone.
Okay, they want to be alone.
Yes. They don't want you to do.
How can they heal from that kind of situation?
How can they what?
How can the woman play that, like be that emotional support for them?
No, they don't need it. So
because
they don't need it. Don't give them now. They're not asking for it. They will figure it out and sort it out. If they need your help, they will tell you. Don't bother them.
It's complicated.
I'm telling you, if they need your help, they will tell you. Don't bother them. Don't try to prove. If you need your help, they will tell you. How do I develop the emotional capacity needed to live harmoniously with my baby? By my baby, you mean your wife. How do I develop the emotional capacity? Please define what you mean by emotional capacity. Define it. Grant. Define it. It's vague. Can you be more clear on that question? While I'm waiting for you, let me hear from King Ayo Digitalis. King Ayo. Good evening. Long time. Hello, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Long time. How now?
I'm fine, sir.
Yes.
Well done, sir. Yes, sir. This is awesome. Most of the time, I always catch up on the SoundCloud. So
okay.
Most of the recordings. So tonight, I just let me listen directly to hear from you. What tonight has been awesome, and if there's anything I say, is the position of leadership.
Your voice is low.
Okay, sir. So if there's anything I took tonight, what about now, sir?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's the position of leadership in the house. You know, if you are getting married to the right woman, let's put it that, not all these women outside, are this good one, reasonable one. Once you take up that position of leadership in the house and you provide what you need to provide as a man in the house, the issue of respect will not be an issue, will not come up.
Yes.
Whether lady is going to be humble or not, it's not going to come up at all, because you are playing your major role as the leader of the house. So yes, she is also going to reciprocate by respecting you, by being humble. So that is one thing I took tonight, unless it's not all this lady, but if it's, because sometimes guys also, you provide all these things and you still didn't get the kind of respect or the kind of respect you desire from the woman. Yeah. But if the person is reasonable and is a good woman, you don't need to fight for it. You don't demand it. Once you do what you need to do, you get the respect that you want in the other way around. So I guess that's one of the things that I take tonight. Just do your role as a man, provide, lead, then you will reciprocate in the right manner.
Provide us security. You know, the Bible says that perfect love casts out fear. The reason why the woman will not respect you, or will usurp authority, or will have issues with you, is when it's insecure. It will be insecure if it's not loved. Remember, perfect love casts out fear. There is no fear in love. If your wife is insecure, it will show. Why? Because he's insecure. Ola, good evening. How are you? Ola, good evening. Ola, are you there? Okay, I think Ola is busy. Grant, can you confirm your question? Or you want to say it? Grant, can you unmute and say it? Okay, Ola, okay, I understand. Yes. Grant, are you there? Grant, your question, I didn't get it though, unless you are no more with us. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for being able to make it today. Like I said, this predisposition, we still have about 3 or 4 more episodes to go. So we'll still be talking about this difference till end of February. The finance we talk about, most likely will start late March or somewhere, maybe late, early April. But I'm already working on it. I'm hoping it's going to be an interesting one as we learn about finance, maybe for another 13 weeks, discussing money matter. All right, thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Have a wonderful weekend, and bye-bye.